Hello. This is Greg Peloquin, aka G Pelly.
And he's joined by Joe Naseef.
All right, so in this matchup, we have Chris over on our left playing four-color, no red Reanimator, aka Japanese Reanimator, and
I have Evan Arkin on the right playing the Flood.
the Flood. Is that something I should buy insurance for?
Actually, you probably should if you're going to be playing Standard anytime soon. The Flood is a deck that me and Evan have been working on for quite a few months.
Okay, so I understand you first saw this deck on Magic Online, and it was either you or Evan were playing a match, and the guy plays turn to a Chronic Flood. You're like, hey, buddy, come here, look at this. Look what this guy just did. Because Chronic Flooding is a card that you never want to be caught dead playing in draft.
Yeah, and after that match, which it was Evan who was playing and lost, we looked at the deck, laughed at it for a little bit, couldn't believe that we lost to it, and then started talking about it. And there was a lot of good synergy in the deck.
Such as?
Chronic Flooding for one. It's one of the best ways to put cards in your graveyard. Very mana efficient. It does it over a course of a game instead of just a one-shot.
So one of the things about Chronic Flooding you should know is that you enchant a land, and as soon as that land is tapped, it triggers and mills 3 cards. You can tap it for mana and mill 3 cards.
Absolutely. So if you want to Faithless Looting, or even if you want to dig and try to find a Faithless Looting, you could just tap your land for mana and put lands into your graveyard. Or put 3 cards from the top of your library into your graveyard.
How awesome it would be if Narcomoeba were in this format.
Oh, how I can wish.
They just get a bunch of Narcomoebas in play and then Crater Hoof them?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. So we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but talk a little more about some of the synergies that are present in the Flood.
The Flood has Izzet Charms and Faithless Looting, which that you want to be sculpting your hand early in the game.
Okay.
Izzet Charm does everything you want it to do. It deals 2 damage to Ash Zealot. It kills, Champion of the Parish or Stormkirk Noble. It also provides as a spell pierce when you're trying to combo off.
And more importantly,
it's a Faithless Looting.
I forgot that one. That's a big one. Now, how often are you using it as a loot versus the other 2 effects?
It depends on the matchup. You optimistically want to be playing Chronic Flooding and Faithless Looting early. And saving it to see what you're going to need it for, what you're playing against, assuming you don't know what you're playing against going into the matchup.
Right.
But realistically, on turn 2, after you know what they're playing, it's fine to just be Faithless Looting at instant speed at the end of their turn.
Yeah, that seems pretty strong. Okay, so Chris has a 10 here, and Evan rolls a 7. So looks like Chris will be starting off in this matchup. So this is two graveyard decks scoring off. So we're going to be going big, and the graveyard's going to be a big resource. Now, Chris is playing a deck that's more or less similar to, again, that's the Japanese Reanimator deck. So the difference is instead of playing like the red with Faithless Looting, you're playing blue for Tracker's Instincts and Forbidden Alchemy.
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, the Japanese players are very innovative, and a lot of the metagame that makes its way here to the United States originates from there. So we take decks, we make them, and then they perfect them and send them back to us.
And they play a lot of the off-the-wall things we wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
A lot of that comes over from Japan. Now, this particular deck, I played this deck at the Star City Open in Seattle, and the blue and Reanimator deck. And the issue was Thalia is a huge problem for that deck because everything's a spell. So you're casting like Tracker's Instinct, which costs 3, Farseek, which costs 3, Forbidden Alchemy, which costs 4. Not such a bargain anymore.
No, and by that time you're just dead to the green-white aggro decks.
You're on the back foot, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so in this particular match, it looks like Chris is on the play, keeps his 7, and Evan is going to mulligan on the draw.
Yeah, which is okay. Both of them are technically going to be killing in one turn if they win. Like this is the Hoof, there it is, versus the Flood, which. With the combo, it mills a whole bunch of humans. And all of those humans have abilities that you could just hardcast them for and stay in the game. Nightshade, Peddler, Static Caster.
So what happens when you soul bond those 2?
Oh, do you remember Cunning Spark Mage and Basilisk Collar?
Boy, do I.
Oh, wow. Well, let me tell you, this card and these combo of cards is exactly what this deck needed. Originally, when we saw this deck, it didn't have those. It had like Lightning Maulers and Zealous Conscripts to give stuff haste.
Lots of haste, yeah.
But it just died to the early game of a lot of the decks. Mono red, green white aggro.
You're too slow. Yeah. So Staticaster lets you shoot down some of those early plays.
Yes, and Staticaster has multiple abilities. Besides just being paired with Nightshade Peddler. When you bring back Angel of the Glory Rise and all of your creatures come back with Gold Knight Commander, they all get +1/+1 triggers for each creature.
And it's even better when you have Huntmasters and friends as well.
Absolutely, Zealous Conscripts stealing something theirs or giving one of your guys haste. And then all of your Izzet Staticasters have haste.
All right, so we see Chris has 3 mana on turn 2 for his far, so he gets a good start. And there's Chronic Flight, so that's we're off to the races. Now look at Evan's hand. I saw a Zealous Conscripts. I saw Angel of Glory's Rise. So some of the premium cards that you want to be reanimating are actually in his hand. There's a Feeling of Dread to stymie the early aggression, which I don't think about it, will probably want to come out in this matchup.
It looks like Evan's going to want to hit a red source here and start milling himself and try and get some Faithless Lootings in the graveyard to sculpt his hand.
Yeah, no, worst case, yeah. So being able to discard some of those premium cards in his hand would be huge. Or Izzet Charm's good too. There's a Cavern. Maybe Casting Angel's more viable here. We can't say for sure yet without seeing his hand. I see a Huntmaster as well. So yeah, this looks like a hand that really wants to see a Faithless Looting. So maybe we can mill ourselves here, get some green or some blue. I don't know if, it looks like green because you have Nightshade Peddler, so let's mill.
There goes Faithless Looting.
So now we just need a red source. We're almost there. And there's 2 more good, 2 premium targets for Nightshade Peddler.
And Nightshade Peddler.
There you go. Okay, so we're gonna peddle our wares and hope that's good enough.
A good thing about Staticaster also without the Nightshade Peddler is it just hoses Lingering Souls.
Yes. Now, actually, green white aggro has a lot of trouble with it too. I was shooting Thalias all day with it. Could I play this deck for one FNM? I killed Thalias. I killed Arbor Elves. I killed Lingering Souls. I think it's a token deck that just saw that combo and he's like, "Yep, not beating that."
Yeah, and it's really good. Also here,
Evan needs a red source in the worst way.
He does. He has time. He has Feeling of Dread in hand, which is good. He's going to be taking 2 here, probably casting Huntmaster.
Yeah. And Chris isn't doing anything. So now, here's the important part. You do not attack with the Nightshade Peddler, because that list runs Restoration Angel.
Yes,
absolutely. At least the standard versions do. Maybe Chris's list is a little different. I know he did a couple things off the beaten path. Like I know he's Golgari Charm on his board, because I've talked to him about this list a little bit. So we're pairing Nightshade Peddler with Huntmaster. Actually, now we can attack.
Yeah.
Because if he blocks the Restoration Angel, you're not making that block. Let's not kid ourselves. And so we can get it for a point.
He's absolutely, if he does block, you're doing exactly what you want to, filling your graveyard with humans so that you could eventually Angel of Glory.
And he trades a whole spell for it.
Yeah.
Huge. Okay, so let's look into turn. What are we doing? Main phase. So Evan missed an attack of the Peddler.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it might be irrelevant, but I'd really like to get in a free point there.
Yeah, I mean, the deck is a one-shot kill, but sometimes, you're just not going to have the combo, and you're going to have to attack, so every point does count.
And I've comboed off a couple times, been a point or two short. It can happen.
It can happen.
Now, this particular way Evan's hand's shaping up probably won't be the case. It looks like you got a lot of your premium targets between your hand and graveyard. Like, a red source just blows this game wide open for Evan.
Yes, and I mean, he has the active Chronic Flooding going, which now you can see why it's so good for a Reanimator-type deck.
Right.
It's just filling your graveyard, and you act like he got to cast a Huntmaster and fill his graveyard.
And Chris isn't doing anything. Evan's got all the time in the world right now to do what he wants to do. This is Deathrite Chum. Now that's a good one. That's very powerful.
That might be problematic for
going long.
Yeah. So hopefully Evan can see a red source here and just show you what this deck does.
Yeah. So what do we do for 3 here? Oh, we must have Forbidden Alchemy. So it looks like Chris's library's off camera, so we can't tell see what he's doing. We can't see his graveyard. His graveyard should be within view because there's some tape on either side of the table. So we should instruct him in the future, make sure his library and graveyard are on the other side of the tape so we can see it. But I'm betting he tapped 3 mana, he looked at 4 cards. That's a Forbidden Alchemy.
Yeah, it looks like Evan got that red source.
There's the Steam Vents. Yeah, that's critical. Tapped? Not sure about that.
I don't know what he's possibly thinking here. I would probably want to be Faithless Looting 1, 2.
What's 2 life to you?
Yeah.
Even worst case scenario, you hoofs you got a Feeling of Dread in your hand.
Right.
That's his other card.
Yeah, I really would have. He wanted to flip the Huntmaster
and kill Deathrite. Okay, that's okay. I missed that. I guess that's defensible.
But even still, there, Chris should have targeted the Faithless Looting and made him take the 2.
Oh yeah, because he can do it on his in response.
Yeah, so I definitely wouldn't have banked on that if I was Evan, and probably would have took the 2 life and cast
Faithless Looting.
Faithless Looting, yes.
Okay. I guess you could also consider that. Well, maybe long term I lose the Faithless thing, but he doesn't get a free reign in my graveyard.
Yeah, I'm guessing with this red mana, an active Chronic Flooding, Faithless Looting would not have been hard to come by.
Yeah.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
but,
he's still a little off on casting, just hard casting Angel. He needs to fill his graveyard a little more.
Yeah, well, you can tap Chronic Flooding, and because there's no mana burn, you can just mill for 3 for free too, and that's fine because, Chris isn't presenting any pressure. There's nothing going on here. Like Evan's got all the time in the world to do what he needs to do.
Well, looks like Lingering Souls is going to make its way in and probably get flashed back. He has Craterhoof in hand.
Yeah, so
and one off on casting it.
So you can see where this really, really hurts you when you're not when you don't have access to when you can't Faithless Looting Craterhoof. You're stuck with it in your hand. You have to cast it.
Yeah.
Okay, Centaur Healer.
So he hits Centaur Healer.
So the usual Japanese lists don't play Centaur Healer main.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. Like you board in for the faster matchups.
At this particular place, Mono Red had seen a lot of play. It's probably just a meta call.
Okay, so Huntmaster should reflip here because 2 spells were cast.
Correct. And a turn he's going to mill.
Oh boy, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
So if we'd Faithless Looting, we'd actually be comboing off here.
Yes, he would be in a very good position.
Yeah, even still, this is good. Okay, so the Huntmaster should be reflipping here because it's 2 spells, and we catch it. We do. Yes. Yeah. Okay, good. And we gain 2 life, and get in there, Wolf. And extra Wolf is great for the inevitable Gold Knight commanders.
Yep.
That will get buffed up.
Having Feeling of Dread is really good here because even if he does cast Craterhoof, he's able to survive through that attack.
Yeah. So when it rains, it pours. We got another red source.
Yeah. I mean, he was asking for it, and he's getting them. You could almost say he's flooding red.
Yeah, he's flooded right now. Oh, the rich get richer. There's another Staticaster. And the fun thing is when you, what's really fun is when you combo off and get your Angel, you get back Staticaster and Nightshade Peddler, can pair them together, and then clear out blockers.
Yes.
As well. That's another huge play.
Yeah. And
now, also when I comboed off, typically the best target for Zealous Conscripts was itself.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, so you know something here. Tell me about it.
The Zealous Conscripts, the target for it, you mean was the Angel?
Yes. So you give Angel haste.
It really is. The evasion is really good. If they don't have anything worth taking, then yeah, you almost always give your Angel the haste.
All right, another flooding.
Yeah.
Boy, we're just going deep here. So you know what's funny is even if Evan would come off like a full turn sooner, but even if Chris had access to the Death Channel for one more turn, would it have mattered?
It wouldn't have.
Because like Death Right's nice, but you can overwhelm it quickly, right?
Yeah. Is there a Craterhoof coming down here? That's
entirely possible. And here, hoof, there it is.
2,
3. Yeah, we got the mana. 4, 5, 6. So if we're on, so the one mistake I think Chris made here, instead of casting the Centaur Healer last turn, I would have put a flashback Lingering Souls and said have it.
And yeah, and he absolutely would have won this game.
Yes, I'd be in a much better position. So instead now we're coming in for 9, 5, so 19, 14, 19,
26.
Yes,
but
it's not enough.
No,
not good enough. So yeah, actually that made all the difference.
Yeah, he's going to be able to put the humans in his graveyard, which is what he absolutely wants to do.
So we're blocking for sure. Everything's push blocking some stuff. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Get the hoof from the yeah, just kill something.
So he's going to take 19 and go to what I would assume would be
5.
3?
Should be 5. 3 because
he played 1 Headmaster.
But no, he's gained.
And it
reflipped. So you should be at 5. Let's take 2 somewhere. Look, Shockland.
Oh, maybe?
He took 2 from the Shockland, so he's at 3. Okay.
So he's going to go to 3.
Yeah, and guess what? 3 is not 0, which is perfect. Now we can fire back with the combo, and we've got the kill. I think Evan's got the kill. Evan has the kill, right?
Yeah, I mean, 2 activations from the Chronic Flood. He already has enough to just win the game.
Yeah.
But he's going to go ahead and put... since they're paired, they did have Death Touch, which is good for him to separate his blocks like that.
Yeah, so the misplay for Chris of not flashbacking the Lingering Souls was crucial.
It absolutely was. He would have won this game.
Yep. So a couple small things on both sides that it could have, a couple technical things, but the result is, well, Evan's flooded with,
oh, wow. And the rich do get richer. 2 Gold Knight Commanders is
so here comes
essentially
Angel.
The dream.
Angel triggers, And here comes some humans.
So while he's doing this, let's just say the game's over. Let me walk through what you kind of want to be doing here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you want to put your Gold Knight triggers on the stack first as they all come into play. That way, if you do Zealous Conscript something, and that's the last trigger to resolve, also what you steal gets all of the Gold Knight triggers.
It does.
And then you want your Huntmaster triggers to go, so that way everything gets the Gold Knight triggers again.
Including the wolves.
Yep, and then you also want to be soul bonding to the Staticasters. And here's what's going to happen. It looks like he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures coming into play, which will get the way Gold Knight Commander reads is other creatures. So he'll get it actually is 10. So it looks like they'll all get plus 18, and then an additional 2 from the Huntmasters, plus 20. And then he's going to attack them with both Zealous Conscripts, the Izzet Staticasters, and anything else that he gave haste for well into the hundreds.
Yeah, so, and it looks like Chris sees the writing on the wall. Evan's probably explaining the combo to him, show him how it works. And it looks like Chris is scooping up. We're going to game 2. So this is a game of inches, and sometimes it doesn't look like the way the game ended.
Yeah. When you attack somebody for 240, you wouldn't say that was such a close game, but it really was just a slight error in Chris's part, cost him that match.
Yeah,
that game. I'm sorry.
That game. Yeah, we don't know how that shakes out, but we don't yet. So okay, so do we have access to deck lists? I don't think we do. But you know it's in the sideboard. So tell me a little bit how we would sideboard.
Here, Evan has in his board, he has more Feeling of Dreads, he has Dispels and Negates. I could see bringing in the Negates because you absolutely do not want them to resolve the Unburial Rights.
Right.
Feeling of Dread is really good because it keeps you from getting one-shotted by Hoof.
Okay. So I'm watching Chris sideboard here. Sorry to interrupt. I'm watching him sideboard. It looks like we're starting in Detention Spheres, which are good. Yeah. That's what you want to be doing because you want to make sure whatever you hit with it doesn't come back.
Absolutely.
That's important. Removal Exile is fantastic.
Yeah. Removing from game is pretty good. The Centaur healers are probably lackluster. He probably wants to take those out.
Yeah, and we said in the previous video, I'm not a big fan of Centaur healer in a lot of these matchups, and it's for this reason. It's just three for a 3/3 and 3 life is good enough. Is good, but not with some of the caliber of their cards that are running around standard right now.
So you don't want to be main decking them, but you do need them to survive the mono red that happens to be in every tournament you go to.
And the Rakdos decks too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like there's certain matchups where they're really good to have. And let's be honest, turn 3 Centaur healer, turn 4 Restoration against a red deck, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. There's also Gisela in Evan's sideboard, which is fairly good. If for any reason you can't combo off, just having Gisela and a few dudes out is awesome.
Right.
And with Staticaster, it's even better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things about Flood, as you might attest to, is it's a lot of sense it's an all-in deck. So what's going to happen is you're going to see people bringing in a lot of the graveyard hit against you. Like, for example, you'll see Slaughter Games. If they buy Slaughter Games, Angel of Glory's Rise, guess what? You have a backup plan.
Yeah, you do have the backup plan. And we've talked about this, myself and Evan and a few other players, that sometimes maybe just siding out Chronic Flooding and Unburial Rights is the right decision. People bring in Rest in Peace. Guess what? You just brought in 4 dead cards. Because I am going to be casting Gold Knight Commander and then casting Huntmaster and getting 2 +1/+1 triggers on my other guys.
Right. Now, the question is, if you're bringing in cards like that, is that good enough? Because now you're just competing on the same level as everybody else. You're not leveling them necessarily. You're just matching them, so to speak.
Right. And the thing with the deck is it's very resilient. I've played against Rest in Pieces before. We have a few ideas of how to play against it. We're not totally sold on any of them yet.
Yeah, so we went over this a bunch too. Evan, you and I talked about this, how we felt best way to Rest in Peace was. I was a fan of Ray of Revelation myself.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that's the best way because you can get it out of the graveyard in response to trigger or out of the hand.
And also bringing in the gate on the play against the Rest in Peace decks is also a big game.
So Evan flipped up on the gate here when he was shuffling. Yeah. And so Evan's on the draw here. So is Negate still good when you're on the draw?
Yeah, in this particular matchup, it's fine. I really like it to hit the Unburial Rights. He cannot let him hit an Unburial Rights and hit an Angel Serenity.
Right.
It's not absolutely horrible from him. It's still winnable. You can assemble Nightshade, Peddler, Staticaster.
And shoot it.
And shoot it down, correct. But at that point in the game, you've probably already put those out there. And then Angel Serenity is going to take either A, the cards from your graveyard that you want there, or B, the cards from play that you want to eventually get to your graveyard. So it's a little hard to play against that card if you don't already have those cards in your hand.
And also, odds Chris has Rest in Peace.
Yeah.
Playing Reanimator.
yeah, right. So that's another reason why the Flood is such a really good deck right now, because a lot of the decks that are playing white, minus green-white aggro, stuff like that, is not playing Rest in Peace because they play out of their graveyard.
Right.
So if they were playing Rest in Peace, the blue-white decks would shut off their their Snapcaster Mages.
So I'll tell you, when I'm in my deck, I will board in Rest in Pieces and outgo my Snapcasters. I will do that in my 4-color control deck.
I mean, you are one of a kind, G. Pelly.
Aww.
So it looks like Chris is kind of confused about what's going on. He probably doesn't understand that he just lost to Chronic Flooding. He's trying to figure out what to side in.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of options out of Chris's deck. I didn't see a whole lot I liked. The Attention Spheres I liked. The Wraths are not a thing. Yeah, he correctly is not boarding them in, because if Evan starts casting, you can Wrath, and then guess what? Angel resolves, and you're in a hole.
I think I saw Acidic Slime come in on his side.
That's reasonable, because you can hit Chronic Flooding with that. Hey, here's another situation where Ghost Quarter is really good, too. We were talking about that in an earlier video. You and Evan were talking about how Ghost Quarter is really good.
Yeah.
How good is Ghost Quarter against you?
Oh, Ghost Quarter is amazing. I mean, it hits the land that Chronic Flooding is on, and, well, guess what, folks? Just like everybody else in Standard, we don't play basics.
Oh, you just gave away a state secret, didn't you?
Oh, no.
So it sounds like Strip Mine, though. Rough.
Oh, yeah. Well, guess what? After this week, we'll probably be playing one mountain in the main.
A whole mountain. So people can't get clever and Ghost Quarter your one red source. You can't Faithless Looting?
Yeah, actually, looking at the list, Evan does already play one mountain in his.
Ah, he's one step ahead of you.
He is one step ahead.
Get on his level, JoJo.
I know, and you know what? I'm fairly upset because he should be talking to me about this.
Oh, that's gonna be a hell of a pay later. Chris is still sideboarding. So, of note, in a competitive REL setting, you have exactly 3 minutes to sideboard, shuffle, and present your deck, and honestly, he's well over that 3 minutes.
He is, and I would just also like to point out that as another trip to the rules book by level 2 judge G. Pelly.
Yep. Now, in a regular REL, it's probably a little more. You have a little bit more time. Keep in mind, your Urban Organizer at FNM level can actually have 40-minute rounds instead of the 50 minutes we're used to at like PTQ or Pro Tour qualifiers, PTQs, Grand Prix trials, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those are 50 minutes, but this can be 40 or 50 depending. And I believe Northwest has 40-minute rounds.
Yeah.
So you gotta be sideboarding quickly, because you don't want to spend time sideboarding, especially if you're down in games. You don't want to get bogged down and and draw game 2.
Especially in this format. If you're playing Force, your opponent's playing Force, guess what? You can get into that Thrag Tusk mirror, and those games tend to go a long time.
Hey, we both have 35 life. Yay! Okay, so Chris is on the play, and I see a quick mulligan, and that looks like a keep from Evan. I see Faithless Looting. I see Hollowed Fountain. I see Clifftop Retreat and Izzet Charm. That's great.
Yeah,
that's a great start.
I mean, assuming he has the red source that has dodged him last round.
No, there's a Clifftop Retreat.
Okay, yeah, his hand is perfect. Yeah, his hand is really good.
In fact, I would probably, if I mulligan the 4, I would keep Hallowed Fountain, Clifftop Retreat, Faithless Looting, Izzet Charm. I'd snap that, keep that. Wouldn't you?
I would feel like you're going to win that match.
Yeah, I feel fantastic. So it seems like the Flood mulligans fairly well.
Yeah, it really does. And the fact that you could keep a lot of the 1-2 land hands with Faithless Looting, Izzet Charm makes the deck really resilient.
It can be a little deceptive too, in case you don't hit that second land. It's kind of like those one land ponder hands when you're playing like back in the old standard. It's like those hands are so bad because it makes you or like one land Gitaxian probe hands. Those kind of hands are frustrating because you don't know what that other card's going to be.
Yeah, one land ponder hands, man, those were tough.
I see 2 Faithless Looting, and we're back to the well. Chris down to 5. We're pretty far behind. However, we like the Flood. Chris can get back into it with Forbidden Alchemies and Trader's Instincts. Tracker's Instincts.
Tracker's Instincts.
Well, I was calling it Trucker's Instincts for a while too. I'm not the best with names personally, but there's a lot of ways that Chris can get some incremental advantage as well, just like the Flood. The both decks are reasonable at mulliganing.
Yeah, flashing back. The difference is with Evans, he doesn't really net any cards. Draws 2, discards 2. With Chris's, he actually nets a card when he plays his spells. Yeah. So flashing them back will essentially get him back into the game, at least on card advantage wise.
The other thing is, I'm not a big fan of Lingering Souls in this matchup for Chris, especially after seeing Izzet Staticaster.
Yeah, I mean, Is it a card that you absolutely take out? I don't think so. But is it a card you want to be happy to see? No.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of. Okay, so I see a land, 2 lands.
Farce, is it a?
Yeah, 2 lands. Farseek,
Angel Serenity.
Yeah, I can't see that 5th card, but that's good. I don't see a 4 being better than that.
No, I don't. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah. I hope that's not a Centaur healer. He should have took those out.
Yeah. We all can't have turn 1 Faithless Looting. Actually, I don't know if I just paid the 2 in Faithless Looting here.
I don't understand why he didn't. You always want to be just. I mean, he's gonna one-shot you. You're playing against Reanimator.
Now we're flooding.
Chronic flooding. I mean, I guess he's just trying to get max value out of the chronic flooding.
Well, I like playing 2 life. I just think the life's irrelevant.
Yeah, I'm assuming he just wanted to be able to turn 2 chronic flooding and save it for the faithful to pay with the faithless looting, but I think it's just irrelevant. You turn 1 stat.
So we're getting
faithless looting.
See, we're getting Overgrown Tomb here. I think.
Yeah.
Probably get some black mana online. Yeah, the deck. Yeah, so the deck only plays 2 Overgrown Tombs. So that's why he was shuffling through his deck for so long. Because that's a 2 of. But now Chris has access to all his mana. The only difference is if he plays another Glacial Fortress, it'd still come in and play tapped. But that's small potatoes.
Yeah.
Compared to getting the 4th mana online.
He's Mulligan in a 5 is just really rough in any matchup, and against a deck like the Flood or any other type of Reanimator deck, it just leaves you in a bad position. You want to be matching them card for card, doing what they're doing.
Yeah. So the Flood is what's called a proactive deck, and it's like, hey, I'm doing this, and Reanimator's like that to some extent too. Both decks like, hey, I'm doing this. These things that are more powerful. What do you got to stop me?
Yeah.
Make them have the answer. Or kill you before it becomes relevant.
As you can see there, Evan just discarded Cavernous Souls, which is unneeded in this matchup, but is essential to the deck because a lot of the decks now dissipate or syncopate and dissipate spells like that. You're not going to be able to resolve your Unburial Rites in the Flood. So what you want to do is you want to hold on to an Angel and keep filling your graveyard, and then just play Cavern, name Angel, and win the game.
As land number 7.
As land number 7.
Okay, and also important here is Chris could play Syncopate. It's possible.
Yeah.
And in that case, you're a sad panda if you don't have Cavern. But that's still pretty situational. Oh boy, look at that. We got a Staticaster. We have an Angel. So we're needing Unburial Rites now, right?
Not. Yeah, you're looking at Unburial Rites, but there's another Chronic Flooding online. I think.
So it's huge enough to spell tap 2 and Is It Charm and activate a second Chronic Flooding. Get lots of cards in the graveyard.
Yeah.
In a turn, we're go
Abrupt Decay.
Tap in response.
Oh, yeah.
Tap it on response. Evan's tanking correctly. Good. He almost put the graveyard there.
He did. You definitely want to Is It Charm here. There's no reason not to.
No. So he correctly taps in response, and there he goes. Okay.
Oh, and he just passes. I guess he's holding the Is It Charm to possibly cast the Unburial Rites with a little bit of counter backup.
You're not under pressure. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. I like that.
Drawing another Faithless Looting. This is just going to be absurd. He's going to be able to cast a Faithless Looting off the Chronic Flooding and then flash back a Faithless Looting.
So you can also see another situation where Detention Sphere is really good because you can hit multiple Chronic Floodings with it too.
Yeah, Detention Sphere is.
Although at that point, it feels like you're putting chop your arm off, you put a Band-Aid on it. It kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
So
there's the rights, by the way. There's Unburial Rites.
Yeah, he's flashing back.
We're going for it now.
Oh, he is just going for that.
Bada boom. I don't think you can kill yet, can you?
I hadn't seen all the cards that hit his graveyard. Let's see if he has a Golden Knight Commander in there.
No commander. So this is not lethal yet.
No, he's just flooding the board, saying do something or I'll kill you in 2 turns.
Do you feel this is premature?
I personally would have just Faithless Looting and one-shotted him. He's not Chris isn't doing anything with his mana. His graveyard is lackluster. There's nothing in there. Best he could do here is like end of turn Forbidden Alchemy. So I would have.
Well, there's Angel Serenities and 2. So if he hits another land, that's coming down this turn.
Yeah, I definitely.
And then there's a Cavern. So yeah, we're definitely going to be playing Angel Serenity here.
So I definitely would have Faithless Looting, just filling my graveyard and going for the one-shot kill instead of putting myself in a position to get
Wrath too. I mean, I don't think Supreme Verdict's good, but just because we don't think it's good, we wouldn't do it doesn't mean our opponent won't.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's with what Evan was banking on there, that he took out the Supreme Verdicts or didn't bring them in. And just put some pressure on the board.
There's the Angel. So now all those things are under an Angel. So what do you hit here if you're Chris?
Me not knowing how to play against the Flood, I don't know what he could possibly be thinking. I think what you want to be taking...
Staticaster needs to be hit.
Has to go.
Yes.
Staticaster absolutely has to go.
Yes. Yeah, that correctly. He picked Staticaster, and okay.
Yeah,
I mean... That's fine.
I can deal with that.
I like it. That's good. Those are good targets.
So Evan still is going to smash here with Zealous Conscripts and the 2 tokens, I would assume, just to do some damage. There's no reason to hold them back.
So the way this way this really hurts Chris. Like, so you bring the Angel Glory's Rise and you block, you can hit him with two damage, try and go your guys back.
Yeah, and Zealous Conscripts is a good card in general too. You can always just hardcast Zealous Conscripts.
Here's the fun part. There's a Faithless Looting in his hand, so you could loot afterwards and ditch some of those guys, put those guys to get back to the Angel back in his graveyard.
Oh yeah.
So I'd probably attack the Angel Glory's Rise first.
Yeah, absolutely.
To try to set up the play. Chris might just take it, or he might just play right into it.
Yeah, and he has the Staticaster in his hand, but I mean he's already casted the Faithless Looting.
And there's the Peddler too.
Oh yeah.
So we're well set up here.
He's he hasn't played a land for turn, but he's one off on
Peddler.
Yeah. Did he?
I don't see a land in his hands. Looks like we didn't hit it. I don't think we hit it here. So 1 land. So we've already cast Faithless Looting, so we have a red. So we've got 3 mana.
Yeah.
So we're off the combo still. Okay. So and I think we're still missing a Faithless or Umbrella Rights to go back to the well here too.
I don't like this. I probably would have just bashed with everybody, applying some pressure. Also, if he blocks the Angel.
There's Tension Sphere from Chris. Okay.
I think the tension.
Evan's got the feeling the flood here. You can tell. Yeah, it's not revved up.
It's getting warm.
gotta put on those big boots, right? Because it's getting deep.
I think he feels the water rising.
Yep. And there's the Tension Sphere. So what are we hitting with Tension Sphere here? What are our thoughts?
I mean, I would probably take the Zealous Conscripts because I want that to go anywhere but back in the graveyard. Oh, he's taking Chronic Flooding.
Isn't it a little late for that?
Yeah, it is a little late for that. Although there's not too many humans in the graveyard anymore.
Was it this game or last for Chris Tracker's Instinct?
It was last game.
Okay, so that's for Alchemy this game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's the combo, and boom.
Damn.
Yeah, I think now Evan's in pretty firm control here.
Yeah, he gets to get in some damage.
Now Ray comes in. Yep, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, and now he gets if he has Faithless Looting. Oh, he's just going to pass the turn back.
But is it Charm Up, just in case?
His hand is chock full of guys.
I see 3 Hunt Masters.
There's a hoof.
Then there's the Handshake. Okay, this is... Yeah, I don't see a whole lot Chris can do to get back from that. So it looks like the Flood is the more proactive Reanimator deck.
Yeah, it's actually been talked about a little bit by a famous Jerry Thompson. He wrote just a small paragraph about it in a local or in one of his articles and said that it might be the future of Reanimator.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, it's as you can see there, it's really resilient. You didn't have to one-shot anybody there. He just brought back a few humans. And
they're discussing some sideboard options here, looks like. But in the end, congratulations, Evan Arkin, for taking this match down.
Yeah, good job.